Chief, holding yourself accountable is never going to feel nice. It's something that we all want to do. We all romanticize being a good man, being honest, being accountable, being responsible. When it actually comes to it, a lot of people don't. And that's because it lessens your ego to accept that you have done something wrong. And accountability, this applies to everything. To hold yourself accountable for your own mistakes so you can improve, but when you also let other people down, when you do stupid things. And it's actually harder to hold yourself accountable when you've been doing well, when you are in a sort of perception of yourself where you already think you are something shit. When you have a negative self-perception, it's easier to hold yourself accountable, and the reason is because there's nothing to lose. You don't really care as much if people see you a certain way because in your head they already do. But when you are improving yourself and when you start to like yourself, when you then do something bad, it tampers with your view of yourself a bit. Suddenly you realise that maybe you're not all you're cut out to be, and it's harder to be accountable. Maybe you lie, or maybe you don't own up to things because you don't want people to have a ruined image of you. But guess what, Chief? If you've done that thing, if you fucked up, you deserve the negativity that's come with it. And that's not me pointing the finger and acting like I'm better, but this should be the blueprint for everyone. Because everyone's going to inevitably fuck up. We are stupid little creatures as human beings. It doesn't matter how high you are in your self-improvement journey, you're going to make stupid mistakes, and you're probably going to do things sometimes that make you seem like a dickhead, maybe out of ignorance, or maybe sometimes out of malice. But holding yourself accountable is what brings you back to being human. Because you need to drop the ego. You're not perfect, and you're never going to be. And just because you fucked up, it doesn't mean that you are lesser than everyone else. And just because you hold yourself accountable doesn't mean suddenly it makes it all okay. But you need to realise that we can't always feel good about ourselves all the time, and there can't always be positive emotions. Those negative emotions help us learn and grow. The reason you feel that way is because you feel bad about what you've done, and that's good. Because how are you going to change if you don't feel bad about it, right? You can't avoid being the idiot sometimes. And guess what, Chief? People's perception of you may sour temporarily, depending on how big the thing you have done is. But eventually that'll go away and people will forget anyway. Do you know what's worse? If you become the guy who always avoids accountability, then you come across as a fucking child. And that can stay for much longer. Accountability helps us not make the same mistake again because we accept and embrace the negative feelings and we accept and embrace the mistake we made. We highlight it as negative, and it forces us to reconcile with that and improve ourselves. But if you try and avoid accountability, you're just a child trying to not be told off by your parents, and your parents aren't here anymore. There's no one telling you off. You're just avoiding responsibility. But making these mistakes, making these errors, these blunders, this is what helps us grow as human beings, socially, mentally, spiritually. By learning what is okay and what is not okay to do. Do you understand? We have to go out there and do these stupid things. To know when we've hurt someone, to know when we've hurt ourselves, to know when we let ourselves down, let other people down, so we can try our best to not do it again, and we probably will. But as long as we keep holding ourselves accountable and feeling those difficult feelings, because that's where the growth is, Chief. Much like working hard on yourself in the gym and pushing yourself through physical pain, that emotional pain you feel when you fucked up, that's growth. You are feeling growth. If you embrace that, you are growing. If you avoid it, you're just staying small. Because chasing comfort and good feelings all the time, yes, it's addictive, and yes, that's what our brains want to do. But we know about delayed gratification. If we force ourselves to just feel what we need to feel, even if it feels terrible, that's how we have the full experience of life. And that's what makes feeling good about yourself, and that's what makes achieving something all the sweeter, is because we went through that negative... Jesus Christ. Because we went through that negativity to get there. If you're always perfect, you never take accountability, you just lie your way to the top, eventually you're going to hate yourself. But victories feel so much better because of the failures that came before it, and that counts for personal failure, that counts for when you failed as a human being. But that's a part of being a human being. Take accountability, not because it's the bigger thing to do, but because that's how you grow, and selfishly, that's how you improve. And that's how you be a man. It's a start anyway. Keep improving, keep being accountable, just be responsible and say less, do more.